Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're talking about one of the most important topics for anyone learning English: how to train your brain to speak in English. If you understand English but freeze when you try to speak, if you know grammar but can't use it naturally, or if you feel like your brain is always translating before you talk, then this episode is for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma, and I'm really excited about today's episode because this is something almost every English learner struggles with. A lot of people think the problem is vocabulary or grammar, but most of the time, the real problem is how the brain is trained. Today we're going to explain why speaking feels hard, what's happening inside your brain, and what you can do every day to make English feel natural.
Let's start with an important question. Why is speaking English harder than reading or listening? Many learners can read a text and understand it. They can listen to a podcast and follow the idea. But when it's time to speak, everything slows down. That happens because your brain is still working in your first language. You think, translate, speak. And that process is slow and tiring.
Exactly. Your brain didn't learn English the same way it learned your first language. When you were a child, you didn't study grammar rules. You listened, you repeated, you made mistakes, and your brain slowly built connections. So when adults try to learn English only by studying rules, the brain doesn't get enough real practice. It knows information, but it doesn't know how to use it.
That's why today, we're not focusing on grammar rules or long vocabulary lists. We're focusing on training your brain, step by step, so speaking becomes automatic.
One of the most powerful habits you can build is thinking in English. But let's be clear. This does not mean thinking in perfect English. It means starting very small. Instead of one word, use short sentences in your head. For example, I am tired. I am drinking water. I am working. Simple, real, connected to your life.
And the key here is daily life. You don't need a textbook. When you wake up, think, I am awake. It is morning. When you're cooking, I am cutting vegetables. The food smells good. When you're outside, it is windy. People are walking fast.
At first, it might feel strange. Your brain wants to go back to your native language. That's normal. But every time you choose English, even for 10 seconds, you're training new pathways in your brain. And remember, no translating. If you don't know a word, skip it or use a simple one. Fluency comes from flow, not perfection.
Now let's talk about input. Input means English going into your brain. Your brain cannot produce English if it doesn't hear English regularly. Listening is not optional. It's essential.
And this is where many learners make a mistake. They listen to English that is too difficult. If you don't understand anything, your brain can't learn patterns. So choose easy, clear English. Podcasts for learners. Simple YouTube videos. Slow, clear speech.
And here's something important. Your brain learns faster when you enjoy the content. So don't just listen to learning English content. Listen to things you actually like. If you like food, watch cooking videos. If you like travel, watch travel vlogs. If you like sports, listen to sports commentary in simple English.
When you enjoy the content, your brain relaxes. And a relaxed brain learns better. Try listening every day, even for a short time. 10 or 15 minutes is enough if you're consistent.
Many people think speaking comes from the mouth, but speaking actually starts in the ears. If your brain can recognize sounds, rhythm, and sentence patterns quickly, speaking becomes easier. That's why active listening is so powerful.
Active listening means you're not just hearing English in the background, you're paying attention. Here are a few simple ways to do that. Repeat short sentences after the speaker. Notice how sentences go up or down. Pay attention to how words connect. You don't need to understand every word. Focus on the music of English.
English has a rhythm. When your brain learns that rhythm, speaking feels smoother and more natural.
Now let's talk about output. Output means English coming out of your brain. And here's the good news. You don't need a partner to start speaking. You can speak to yourself.
Now let's talk about output. Output means English coming out of your brain. And here's the good news. You don't need a partner to start speaking. You can speak to yourself.
When you speak out loud, something important happens. Your brain connects. The idea, the word, the sound. that connection is what creates fluency. And again, mistakes are normal. Mistakes mean your brain is working.
Another powerful technique is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately, copying the speed and rhythm. For example, if you hear, "Today we're talking about learning English," you repeat it right after.
This trains your brain and mouth to work together. It improves pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Do this for just 5 minutes a day. Choose sentences you like. Don't worry about being perfect. Consistency is more important than accuracy.
Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're bad at English. They fail because they stop practicing. The solution is small habits, not 1 hour once a week, but 10 to 15 minutes every day.
Connect English to your routine. Talk in English while cooking. Think in English while walking. Listen to English while commuting. When English becomes part of your life, your brain stops seeing it as study and starts seeing it as communication.
Let's quickly talk about mistakes learners make. First, focusing too much on grammar while speaking. Grammar is important, but not during conversation.
Second, avoiding listening. You can't speak well if you don't listen enough. Third, expecting fast results. Your brain needs time. Be patient and kind to yourself.
Before we finish, remember this. Your brain is adaptable. It can learn English at any age.
Every small sentence you think, every minute you listen, every time you speak, even alone, you are training your brain.
Speaking English is not about talent. It's about training.
So keep going, stay consistent, and trust the process.
That's it for today's episode. How to train your brain to speak in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning English.
And tell us in the comments, which technique are you going to try first?
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.